Welcome back to Monza, everybody, for part 2 of our drivers' press conference. Left of screen, we have Lewis Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda in the middle, and Carlos Sainz to the right. Now, Lewis, let's start with you. Amazing scenes yesterday in central Milan. You've experienced a lot in your Formula One career. Just how was it seeing so many people cheering you on?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's yesterday was such a unique experience. I think from yesterday morning, I got to Maranello, and when you walk in and then you see the Ferrari logo, I mean, I still have to pinch myself. It's so unique. There's people outside at the factory always. I've never seen fans outside of a factory before in any of my years, and you see that every single time. There's just such a positive. There's clearly just so much love for this brand, and for what it means to people, and to be in Milan in the heart of it all yesterday, and seeing the fans and just how passionate they were. Wow, it was intense, but very, very positive. Like, I really tried to harness all that good energy that they gave us.
And have you stopped and thought, just for a moment, what it would be like to stand on this unique podium here at Monza as a Ferrari driver?
Honestly, I haven't, simply because I've been on the podium plenty of times here, so I know what it's like to be up there. I've seen how it's been for other Ferrari drivers. And anything I try to imagine, it'll be far from it, of what that feeling could be. So, but always just coming here for anyone, no matter what team you drive for, it's an incredible experience. Being in this park, being in this historic circuit, and then seeing pretty much the whole Tifosi throughout the pit straight. But also when you do the parade lap, when you're actually driving, the fans are very close, so it feels like they're right with you in the car. It's pretty cool.
Let's just talk about performance. How do you think it's going to play out this weekend with the car?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still obviously the first year with the team, and so every weekend it's the first time driving this car at that track, and the approach is, again, it's different from my previous experiences. When you go to these places, the setup's different, and so it's always new, which I'm enjoying at the moment. I think Ferrari have generally gone pretty well in the past years. Obviously, they won here last year with a great strategy and great drive from Charles, and I'm just really keen to see how the car works here. I think we're definitely learning from weekend to weekend. Loads of positives to take from the last, so I think we just have to keep building on that.
All right, best of luck this weekend. Thank you for that, Lewis. Yuki, talking of positives, back in the points at Zandvoort last weekend. Do you feel you're really starting to make progress with the RB21 now?
Yeah, good afternoon. I think I had progress since day one, and being in this car, and I wouldn't say, like, first few races, maybe it didn't seem in the result, but at least in how I felt, and I was fully convinced I was in the right direction, and just step by step, and jumping into the middle of the season is not easy. A lot of things change also within the Red Bull team as well. So I gave my all efforts every races, and yeah, I think I knew that, especially since last few races, it's getting closer and closer. So it's all about matters that putting it all together, especially whole field is very, very tight, and every milliseconds from Q1, Q2, Q3 it counts a lot. So yeah, it's a race that I think I'm able to put it all together. I think one of the best weekend I had in terms of progress, and I would say the quality of throughout the weekend. And yeah, it was not easy at all with the safety cars and everything, but able to squeeze at points, which pretty happy at. Yeah.
Monza hasn't been kind to you in the past, has it? Do you come here this weekend? Do you come here this weekend with a renewed confidence?
I mean, I'm resetting every year. Although, like you said, 3 out of 4, I had DNF with a lot of troubles. So hopefully I don't have that this year. And yeah, I mean, I still enjoy a lot with this track. Very challenging track in terms of confidence, and I would say when you have confidence, you know that you're gonna have quick lap, and also for the race as well. It's quite a raceable track compared to others. So yeah, I'm still looking forward to it.
And how important is a good result for you at the minute? Do you feel you're still having to impress the team, impress your new boss, Laurent Mekies?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to do every races, and it's always you need a result as much as possible, and but I try to exceed the expectation, and just keep doing what I'm doing, and I think I'll just continue what I'm doing. I don't think I don't really necessarily have to change much. And since Laurent joined, actually, my result is not too bad. So, yeah, obviously, if it's enough, it's not probably enough. But yeah, I just keep pushing. Yeah.
All right, best of luck. Thank you for that, Yuki. And Carlos, let's come to you now. You have a good record here. I think back to that pole position a couple of years ago. Williams also goes well here historically. Just what sort of opportunities does Monza present you guys?
Yeah, it's a track that I love coming to. I think it's one of the best tracks in the race tracks in the world, and definitely having all the tifosi there makes it more enjoyable. I just do well here for some reason, maybe the big break-ins or just feeling the car a bit more loose with a low downforce package. I always feel more comfortable with. But yeah, it looks like it's been a good track for Williams in the past. So yeah, hopefully we can get a good result.
James Vowles said after the summer break that the next 3 races, Zandvoort, Monza, Baku, are a great opportunity for Williams. Can you explain to us why your car can be so competitive on 3 such different racetracks?
Well, it just completely depends on the type of corner. We have a car that does very well in straight line braking and 90-degree corners. We don't like spending too long time in a combined situation of entry and exits. We struggled very much with a through corner balance limitation that is definitely hurting us in long corners. And even though at this track we should be better, there's still Parabolica or Lesmo 1 where compared to the competition we're going to be down in those 2 corners, which are pretty important corners. But even like that, we believe we can still do good lap time in straights and in tight short corners like it's turn 1, 2, turn 3, 4. We have good ride, we have good braking capacity. So yeah, it's an interesting car. I'm discovering a lot of new things this year, having to adapt my driving style a lot to different limitations that I was used to in the past. It's a process that I'm enjoying, but a process also that is making me more complete as a driver. And yeah, it is maybe not the nicest car to drive in some areas, but it has definitely some very good qualities in others, and you just need to know how to maximize them.
Okay. Carlos, thank you for that. Let's now open this to the floor. We will start, as ever, with the broadcasters. Who's first, please? Yep.
Moritz Steidl, Servus TV, Austin Television. Question to Lewis. I remember that when you joined Mercedes, Niki Lauda convinced you. And Niki Lauda's first title with Ferrari will be Sunday 50 years ago. When you decided to come to Ferrari, how much in the back of their mind was maybe also Niki Lauda who drove for this famous brand?
For the last part?
Like when you decided to join Ferrari,
yeah.
Did you were not able anymore to talk to Niki, but was he in the back of your mind?
Well, firstly, obviously I have so much love for Niki, but Niki didn't convince me to join Mercedes. It was more Ross, really, back then. When we sat together in my mum's kitchen and he told me where the team was going, what they were doing. Niki definitely was a part of it, but it was mostly that meeting that was like the one that really pulled me in. And you know, Niki and I had an amazing relationship. So definitely when I joined Ferrari, I hadn't even thought of Niki having driven at Ferrari. It was literally just because as a kid, I obviously watched Michael and was generally a really big fan of the team, and I just always looked at the response, the reaction from the crowd. I always would see every time I was on the podium, just to see the passion. Doesn't matter what position they would come in, they were just so passionate at the bottom. There was no other team like it, and I wanted to feel what that was like. Obviously, now having joined the team and learning more about the history, I think it's amazing this weekend because I got to celebrate Niki at Mercedes. I got to celebrate winning with him, winning championships with him, and then to be able to come to Ferrari and then also be able to celebrate him here is really, really cool, because his legacy continues to live on. And I know right now I know what he would be saying to me nowadays, and he's always in the back of my mind, that thought. Yeah, when I didn't do well, he would do this, and he'd always say he would say give him hell, but he would always say the word assholes. That was always his thing. And I remember at the beginning I never understood. It's like, what do you mean? You mean give him hell? And he's like, no, give him assholes. But yeah, he was just such a fighter.
Thanks, Lewis. All right, next, please, David. Yeah.
Okay, so in the spirit of Niki, you've got to go out there and give it hell on Sunday. The chase for the first Ferrari podium continues, and you've got a 5-place grid penalty. Is a podium still realistic? And also, is there a frustration that an infringement that happened 30 minutes before the start of the race didn't get decided until after the race and wasn't dealt with at Zandvoort and carries on to this weekend?
Of course. I mean, I don't know how the other drivers have felt about the decisions of the last race, but I mean, I landed back home and then saw that I got this penalty, and I was really, really shocked, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. It's obviously not black and white. The fact is, if you look at the report, I did lift, but to their liking, not enough. And so yeah, that's why I guess they're saying not more. But I was, to get the penalty and get penalty points, was pretty hardcore. But I learned from it, and it is, there's no point whinging about it. I'll move forward. It's going to be challenging this weekend. Qualifying it's already so close between us all. So just getting into Q3 is tough. Getting in the top 5 is very, very tough. And then on top of that, to then be set back 5 places is not great when you're going into your first Monza GP with Ferrari. But it gives me more to fight for, and I'm very motivated to make up those places, regardless.
Just very quickly, another one for Lewis, Craig Slater, Sky Sports. Aside from the penalty and how the race ended, you take a lot of positives from the weekend. Has something clicked with you in the car? Can you see now the hard work paying off? Was that the best you felt in the car?
Definitely in the race, and I think throughout the weekend, I think the approach that we had, was spot on. And yeah, I felt like it was one of our strongest, if it's not the strongest, and smoothest weekends up until obviously Sunday that we had. And Sunday was obviously both disappointing and unfortunate. That's not the result that we want. I said that it's unusual for me because I don't really make a lot of mistakes in races like that. But the great thing is that the team remained really, really positive. They're incredibly supportive every single weekend. And so you don't, even though personally you don't feel great about it, they lift your spirits. And then the following days, really, they were deep diving into trying to understand what led to it, because it wasn't a case of me, it wasn't a case of a lack of concentration. There were several things that contributed to it. So, for example, we had a downgraded upshift, which locked the rear wheels and spat the rear end out. But also it was spitting, so there's I was like 10 millimeters wider or something like that, or 10 centimeters wider than I was the previous lap. So they're a combination of things. Either way, it's not great, and I learn from it and move forward. So if I apply that same approach this weekend and to the following races, I really feel positive of the direction we're going.
Okay, thank you. Next, yep.
Hello, Panos Eitanidis from Adena TV Greece. A question for Lewis and Yuki, since you are together. I don't know if you're aware of it or if you have talked about it, but during the summer break, you were in the same period, I think on the same Greek island in Paros. Am I correct?
But
So-
I think it was different island, maybe next to each other.
Okay. So what were the impressions from Greece?
I wish I knew so we could have met
I
up.
know as well, yeah.
Wish I'd known. Greece is beautiful. In my past few summers, I like to go to places that are not so busy. Obviously, I went to a relatively busy part of Greece, which is Mykonos, which is definitely way too busy for me. But as I started to travel around further south to some of the other islands, it's breathtaking. And it's definitely like my new favorite place to go. So at the end of my trip, I was discovering new places, and I was like, I wish I came here first. So I think there's still a lot more for me to see. I loved how private it was. The culture looks really, really beautiful, the buildings, and then like the little towns, and the food is incredible. So I can't wait till next summer to get the chance to go back.
Yuki.
Well, yeah, I didn't know also that Lewis was at the other side of the island, next to each other. Yeah, same. Like it's the beach. The seas are always beautiful. The food is incredibly fresh, especially from seafood. What that's really like recently. Yeah, so I enjoyed a lot, and especially for training as well. It's consistently nice weather, and it's warm, but at the same time you feel some nice breeze all the time consistently. So it's the best for me. It's the best place to do that. And most of the island is not that big as well. So if you do cycling, you can do whole loop on the whole island, and you can see most of the places from that island. And yeah, it's really cool.
Okay, thanks both. Any more from the broadcasters?
Hello, question for Lewis Margot Lafitte, Canal+. Lewis, I want to know how you deal with the mixed emotions you've gone through during the whole adventure Ferrari, between the love incredible you receive from the Tifosi and also the doubts you have expressed until now.
Yeah, it's been an emotional roller coaster. What can I really say? Did I expect it to be as volatile in terms of the feeling? No, but that's life, and I like to think that we're coming, even though we had a difficult Sunday, we're coming out of on the brighter end of the tunnel. And yeah, I think it's just, I read something recently where it was saying there's no point stressing about tomorrow because it often puts shade on the present. So I'm really trying not to worry about tomorrow. I'm really trying to be present and enjoy every moment, because this half of the season has gone by really quick. That's my first half a season with this team, and there's obviously a long way to go. But I don't want to miss any of these special moments that we're having. Like, for example, like yesterday, like my first Monza in Ferrari in red. When I leave the garage tomorrow, it's going to be incredibly special coming onto this circuit, and it just really reflect on when I was a kid watching Michael winning here, and now I get to have that opportunity, that experience of being on the receiving end of the Tifosi, and I want to give them absolutely everything this weekend to get the best result for them, because the passion and the support they've given me and this team is like nothing I've ever seen.
Okay.
Guys, another question to Luis. Hi, Luis. Luis Chagas from DAZN Portugal. Assuming that you will get to Q3, as we all hope, you and Charles, and he needs a tow. Have you guys discussed that?
A tow?
Yeah, for a pole, let's say.
No. I know that Ferrari used to do it many years ago. I remember when I started, at least. I noticed I think Kimi and Felipe used to do that often, and I've never really. It's obviously can be beneficial, but I've in my past it felt like there was more risk of, and often one person had to be sacrificed often for it. So I'm not sure whether or not they will do that this weekend. It's not been discussed, but if it meant getting, obviously I even if we had the pace, I couldn't be on pole. But if it meant getting Charles there, then I would be happy to play that role.
Carlos, has Ferrari done that in the recent past?
Not recently, no. No, we were just going for normal train tows, no specific teammate tow.